All right, my friends, today I am going to go over numerical expressions. So if you'll get your math log out, you need to be in the notes section of your notebook, so wherever you're at in it. And I want you to turn your notebook sideways like this. And then we're going to put on this side and the bottom side. So make sure that you have that turned sideways. So you will get out a baggie out of the bucket that's on your desk. And in that baggie will be everything you need to do this lesson. So I want you to start with this little picture right here that has all the math symbols, okay? So I have not equal to, those are my parentheses, equal, that is greater than, division, subtraction, multiplication, addition, and then less than. So you're going to just simply glue that in your math log right there at that kind of that top corner, okay? Then really nicely, I would like you to write numerical expressions over here. So that you know what the lesson is about. So numerical expressions. Okay, so here's the deal. First, I need to really understand what an expression is. So in your baggie, again, you have a little piece of paper right there. It says expressions. This is an expression. So 6 minus 4, that's an expression. It's any mathematical phrase or formula that does not contain an equal sign or any type of inequality. So it has no equal sign. It's just the numbers. It can have a variable or a letter and then a symbol, but it doesn't have the equal sign at all. That's an expression. So if right there you'll glue that in, telling me what an expression is. And go ahead for me and circle expression right there, okay? Then I want you to write VS for versus an equation. An equation, this is an equation. So that same expression with the equal sign and the answer, or just an equal sign, that's what makes it an equation. An equation, a number sentence with an equal sign and a solution. So same thing, I want you to circle that equation. Let me know that you read it. And then glue that right underneath there. Okay. And then here in this empty space, Ms. Webster printed you kind of some magic words. So magic words for problem solving. That didn't turn out very good. So if you'll write that up there, magic words on the top of that. So those are the words you're looking for. And I know that's not a very good copy, but for addition, it's sum, altogether, total, in all, increase, add. For subtraction, I have difference, decrease, less than, left, greater than, fewer. For multiplication, I have each, product of, times, altogether, multiples. Division, each, average, quotient, per, shared, equally, and shared. So I want you to glue this, your magic words that you would be looking for in a problem, right underneath your math symbols right there, and glue that in. Okay. Then you have these two little sheets left. And what I want you to do is, I'm going to move this up. On this next page, I want you to glue in these just like this. And again, up here, I want you to write numerical expressions. And I don't want you to glue them before we write on them, because then they become difficult to write on. So we're going to fill them out and then we will glue them in. So it says, write a numerical expression for the statement below. So the sum, well, if I go back up here to my magic words, I know that sum means I'm adding. So the sum of 24 and 12. So 24 plus 12. Okay. And then divided by, well, I know divided means I'm doing division, by 9. Well, here's the deal. How am I, if I follow PEMDAS, right, I know that I would divide first, but I want to do the sum first. So I've got to put that in parentheses to make that really happen. Okay, very good. All right, so you'll glue that in. Then let's look at this one. Fill in the blank, numerical expression. So I have the word form, and then I have some examples, and I'm going to write the word form. So right here it says add. And again, use your magic words up top to figure out what you're doing. Add 17 and 13. Then divide by 2. So if I want to add first, and I know I'm adding first because it said then. That means second, right? So I'm going to take 17 plus 13, and I want to do that first. If I want to do it first, I've got to put it in parentheses. And then I want to divide by 2. Okay? Here I have 25 plus 25 times 2. So what am I doing? I'm add 25 and 25. Then, to do it second, multiply by 2. Very good. Okay, so here I have subtract the product of 6 and 5 from 50. So subtract the product of 6 and 5 from 50. So the way that I'm going to do that is I start with 50 over here. And then I'm going to subtract. Well, product means to, if I go back up here in my magic words, I find out that that means to multiply. 6 times 5. But I've got to get the product first. So how do I do that? I put parentheses around that. Okay. Here I have 40 minus, and then I have 8 plus 6, but they want me to do the 8 plus 6 first. So I'm still subtracting. Subtract the sum of 8 and 6 from what number? From the 40. Good. Okay. I have subtract 15 from 25, then multiply by 6. So what number am I starting with? I subtract 15 from 25. So I have 25 minus 15. Then means I'm doing it second, right? So I do this first. Then multiply by 6. Okay. Then I have 8 times 3 divided by 6. And because of the parentheses, I know that I'm finding that product first. So multiply 8 and 3, then divide by 6. Okay. Once you have that filled out, I want you to glue that into your math log. Okay, so you're done with your notes piece to this. It was just kind of everything gluing in, making sure you did each piece of that. I'm going to move this, and at this point in the video, I want you to just watch. You are watching me work these problems, and we're going to do rips on them and figure these out. So it says, Daniel started a video game with 30 tokens. He earned 8 more tokens for jumping on a star, but lost 6 tokens for falling into a hole. When he passed a checkpoint, his number of tokens doubled. Then he spent 20 tokens to buy a flashlight. Spent means to subtract, right? Which expression shows how many tokens he has left? So how many tokens he has left. So if I rip this, how many tokens does he have left? Okay, the important information is he started with 30. He added 8 because he earned 8. Then he lost 6. Then he doubled to multiply by 2, right? I'm just writing out each of these as I go along. Then he spent 20. And then I want to know what he has left, okay? So to do this, I'm going to use an expression. So here, I know that it went in order, right? I started with 30, and I did what? I added 8. So I have 30 plus 8. That's what happened first, okay? Then, what did I do? Well, I took that answer, and I'm going to subtract 6, okay? So what can I do there? All right. What does this one show me? I do 30 plus 8. I get that answer, right? So 38. Then I subtract 6. And here I would subtract another 20 over here. So 30 plus 8 minus 6 minus the 20. And at some point I've got to multiply all of that or multiply it by 2. Okay. So subtracted 6. Then I did what? Okay. So what can I do here? Let me zoom this in so y'all can see this a little better. So the issue is here, I've got a what? When did I multiply by 2? Or when did I double it? I did that before I spent that 20, okay? So that should kind of help you think through it. Here the problem is I'm doing 30 plus 8 minus 6 minus 20 and then multiplying by 2. But that's not what happened in the story, okay? So I'm going to mark that off. Here, 30 plus 8 and then subtract 20 plus 6. Okay, I did subtract the 20 plus 6, but I am going to subtract that. But when am I going to do that? Okay, 2 times 30 plus 8. Well, I've got it. I have nothing happening first here. I would actually, if I did that, I would multiply 2 times 30 before I started. So that can't be it. I'm just eliminating what doesn't work. Here I have the 30 plus the 8 minus 6. Okay, then I would be left with the times 2 and then subtract 20. So really, this one right here, I did this first, right? Then I multiply by the 2. Then I get that answer and I subtract 20. So my answer should be D. Okay. Enrique brought $30 to the mall and spent 14 on a soccer ball and spent 6 on lunch. Which expression represents the situation? So I have 30. Okay. So, and then I spent 6 on lunch. So again, I'm subtracting that 6. Which expression represents that? Well, I have $30 and I'm subtracting from that the 14 and 6. So what can I do? And first off, am I dividing anything? No. No, I'm not dividing. So am I going to, what about that, that 14 and 6? Why would they have you adding those two? Well, because whenever you go somewhere and you spend money, I spent 14 and I spent 6. So I'm going to subtract that from the 30. Okay. D, the reason D doesn't make any sense is because they have another 30 in there. They have 30 minus 14 plus 30. So you didn't add another 30. Okay, so my answer there should be B. So again, they added what they spent together. They added what they spent. Okay, so, and I should have ripped that. I ripped it on my other paper. Let me rip that for you. It says, which expression? So I'm looking for true. Which expression is true? Okay. Important information is that I had $30 and then I spent 14 and 6. And to solve this, I'm going to look at my answer choices, but I'm going to use expressions. I'm going to solve the expression. Okay. And then do my answer, which I have right here for you. So $30, and then I add my 14 plus my 6, and then I subtract it from the $30 I had.